are done messing around with this rain. Hi everybody, welcome to Living Traditions Homestead. My name is Sarah, and if you've been following us for the last couple weeks, you've known that we are battling on and off with some rain issues, and we don't have time for this business. We've got plants to get in the ground, seeds to start in the ground, and this rain is just throwing a wrench at us. But we're to the point where we need to like dash outside when it's not raining and then dash over into the greenhouse and do things while it's raining, just to get some work done. We are 1 week out from the farmers market, our local farmers market starting, which we are involved in. We sell there every week. So we are juggling planting gardens and getting ready for that. So today, in between rain showers, we're going to be planting our onion garden. We're using one of our largest raised bed gardens this year. It's starting to rain. So last week Kevin lit this sucker on fire to get rid of a lot of the dry weeds, but we need to dig out some of the weed roots and just get it ready for onions. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. We've already been rained out the first time, but you know, we can't justify spending time in the greenhouse for 2 hours transplanting if it's not raining, but we can't be out here working in the gardens if it's raining. We need to be in the greenhouse transplanting for the farmers market. So back and forth is what we're gonna be doing all day, but we need to get these onions in, so whenever we have the chance, we're gonna run out here and do that.
As we're tilling up this garden, look at the size of these worms we're finding. These things are practically pythons instead of night crawlers. I wish I had time to go fishing, but we are way too busy this next week, so this guy gets to live another day in our garden.
So our plan here, aside from getting some of the last big clumps of weeds out there, is to plant 5 rows within half of this raised bed garden of onion sets. Now, I also have plans to put onions, a lot of my other raised bed gardens, I plan to put them kind of in the middle, and I'll grow other vegetables and things around the sides. I figure that having the onions down the middle will help keep away some of the pests, but then as I'm harvesting the other vegetables, lettuce and those kinds of things that are toward the edges, I won't be reaching over and damaging the onions, the green parts of the onions as I'm harvesting. So the onions will serve to help protect from insects, bugs, those kinds of things, but they will still be usable. They won't get damaged as I'm reaching in there all of the time. So that's the plan. Hopefully it works. I have a bag of baby onions. These are called onion sets. And this is actually a faster way to grow your onions than starting from seed. I like to use these because they just grow faster, and it just seems like it's more successful for me. We are growing yellow onions this year. I really prefer to cook with yellow onions. I'm not really sure why that's my preference. Last year we planted both yellow onions and red onions, and I was really hopeful that we would have a great crop from the red onions, but you know, overall they just didn't do as well. They didn't grow as big, they weren't as fresh and crisp. I'm not sure what the deal was, but this year I just want to have a sure thing, so I'm just going with more yellow onions. So when you're planting yellow onions, you're gonna plant them in the dirt right up until that little tip. So in this case, that's about an inch down, but I'm gonna make sure that I don't cover the entire thing, just so the little tip sticks out. So where to buy these? Well, you can buy onion sets at virtually any place right now. And when they're in season, you can buy them at Walmart, you know, Home Depot, Lowe's, those kinds of things. You can order them from seed companies, pick them up at Baker Creek. But one thing that we found was to go to our local, like, ag store. We got actually 150 of these for like $1.50, under $2, which was way cheaper than getting them from the big box store. So make sure you check around. The other thing that I really like about buying from somewhere local is that in most cases they're gonna buy for you what grows really well in your area. You're kind of up in the air ordering from a catalog, and you know, you're just kind of hoping that they'll turn out well for you. So this year we're buying local, we're planting them, they're super inexpensive. Let's get started before the rain comes back. So this is the first row we're going to plant here, and I know I told you guys to plant these about an inch down, but I didn't tell you how far apart they should be. So there, I'm gonna put that guy down there and just smush some of that dirt around there. Now, you're going to plant these 4 to 6 inches apart, and I want to maximize our crop yield, so I'm going to put them about 4 inches apart. These aren't going to get humongous, so I don't have to worry too much about that, but I do want to get as many onions as I can into this garden. So about 1 inch down until the tip of it is sticking out of the ground. Push a little bit of dirt over it, and then go to your next one about 4 inches away. Easy enough. Well, hooray, we got the entire thing planted before the big rain came, and it looks like it might actually just be starting, so just in the nick of time. Now, we are going to let these grow until the greens start coming up maybe a few inches, and then we're going to mulch lightly on top of them and mulch thicker in between the rows. You don't really want to put a lot of mulch right on top of your onions. It's going to have too much moisture on those, and you don't want them to rot and get moldy and those kinds of things. So mulch is great, but just not too thick right on top of the onions themselves. But I do highly recommend mulching basically every one of your gardens to keep in moisture, to keep the sun off of the soil in the summer, and to keep down weeds. It's not foolproof with weeds, but it does keep them at bay. The other half of this garden we have reserved for sweet potatoes. Now we need to wait a while, it needs to be warm before we put those in, but at that point we'll till that back up, make sure it looks perfect for sweet potatoes, and get those in there. Last year we had a really great season for sweet potatoes. We actually grew way more than we needed, but we grew them in the ground in the big garden. We didn't till up the soil at all, and so I think that prevented the sweet potatoes from getting really big. So this year we're going to try them in a raised bed garden. We're not going to plant as many because we don't want to be wasteful of the vegetables that we grow and our garden space. So we're gonna see how that goes this year, and of course, we'll take you along. So you guys, thanks so much for coming by the homestead today while we planted our onion garden. We are so happy to get another thing checked off the list. It's been so crazy lately. If you are not a subscriber yet, right now is the perfect time to hit the subscribe button below. And if you are one of our faithful traditionalists that comes back every time we have a new video, thank you so much and welcome back. Before you go, if you will share our video with your family and friends, we would love that. Give us a comment or question. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.